Peace, it's your boy Jay Pella. Just wanted to show you something. This is from a book called Sex and Race by J.A. Rogers, going into the race mixing under Islam, North Africa, and Morocco. Because people always ask, like, why do Moors always feel like the United States is supposed to release them? What are they getting that from if we are all, United States citizens? And so we're just going to go into the archives and show you stuff that you will never see in school, never really even see in movies like that. All right. So I'm going to first read J.A. Rogers what he said. He said, the process had gone on for probably thousands of years prior to the 8th century before Julius Caesar and down to the early part of the 19th century. The Barbary rovers, who were largely African, raided the ships and coast of Europe as far north as the British Isles. With the invasion of Spain by the Moors in 711, the number of white captives in Africa increased. The invasion of France brought in other hordes. For 4 centuries, from 1400 to 1800, collections were taken up in churches of Europe for the ransom of whites held in African slavery. Holland, Sweden, Denmark, Spain, even the United States, after her severance from England, had to pay money to these African sea rovers. The United States sent warships to Africa several times to free white Americans in bondage. Okay, so that's J.A. Rogers' book, but we're going to clarify more of that. And so let's first read this letter. This is a letter said to George Washington from Gaspé, Chiapas. He says, Your Excellency. Now you see he's saying Morocco. Morocco is Africa, so-called black people. He said, I had the honor to write your Excellency the 25th of April by the way of Madrid. And I make no doubt that your Excellency was the kind enough to explain to the Honorable Congress everything which I had communicated for the welfare of the United States of America. As Captain Joseph Proctor of Schooner Polly, belonging to Salem, is about to sail immediately for that place, I take the liberty to add a copy of my aforesaid letter by his favorable opportunity, as least subject to delay. I must moreover inform your Excellency of what beset the aforesaid Captain Proctor, who in the latitude of the Canary Islands and about 50 degrees longitude on his way to his place of destination, returning from Cadiz with a load of salt, being met by two of his Imperial Majesty's freedmen, the Majesty of Morocco, was visited by them who would not acknowledge them for Americans, the pilgrims, because they had not Mediterranean passes as other nations, and being suspected for a Muscovite, he was brought into this port of Magador the 11th instant, that his Imperial Majesty intentions might be known as to his fate. They're going to bring him to the emperor to learn his fate. I immediately took every measure in his favor, and after having well informed myself that his passport and his papers were regular and in good form, I dispatched a courier to the court with my letter for the emperor. So this European sent, he sent it to the emperor in Africa, the emperor of the Moorish Empire, which was immediately presented by my brother Francisco, who supported this representation with the utmost zeal. His Imperial Majesty, so he said United States is answer, his Imperial Majesty was very much displeased with his African privateers and sent the raids, sub-raids, and pilots in order the better to understand from them the cause of so unexpected inconvenience, and at the same time dispatched two of his acolytes who arrived yesterday with letters for me and for the government, the United States colonial government, in which he has ordered the aforesaid captain, his vessel, and his crew to be shall be immediately set at liberty to go wherever he shall please, to furnish him with every refreshment and take from him a formal certification of treatment with the good or bad which he received from his raids to chastise him, and note of what might have taken and stored it for him, and restore the same immediately. So to slow down a little bit, he said, as forementioned, the Majesty said, the crew should be, the African emperor said, immediately set them free. They should go wherever they please and furnish them in every refreshment, because he's honoring the treaty between Morocco and United States. Not America, Morocco and United States, because America is also Morocco, right? And so let's keep going down. He said, hey, free them because we had this treaty where if we catch them, we free them. If they catch us, they free us, right? And so we're going to go down to, he said, and chastise them and restore the same immediately, getting back their stuff. And next letter to a patent with his royal seal, the seal of Morocco, by which it is declared that His Imperial Majesty ratifies the treaty. He said he honored the treaty concluded with the United States. So they're going to say America, but America is a continent, right? So you got to understand language. This is a United States under the auspices of Spain, more Spain, everything and everywhere accedes to the peace substanding between him and other European nations. His Majesty confirms me in his letter to me, as also to my brother Geronimo at Tangiers, and that's also at Tangiers in America, to my brother Francisco and Morocco as agents of the United States of America, and orders me particularly to assist the aforesaid captain and to inform myself of the situation of the maritime cities, of the anchorage, ports, and courses to be held for North America and several districts for the purpose of more express intelligence, which I acquaint your excellency with, as his Imperial Majesty intentions may be known, being very impatient to cultivate a more auspicious correspondence, which has been long so expected. Captain Proctor has very highly praised the good treatment of the African privateers, declaring the same in writing, and he has given such information to His Majesty of Morocco, could wish all which I shall take care to send to His Imperial Majesty, accompanied with all such explanations as may tend to maintain good harmony with your excellency, disposes to honor Congress to show formalities from which the Emperor of the Emperor of the Moors seems to expect. As to myself, I am also devoted to the service of the Honorable Congress and ready to correspond at all times with superior views of the whole nation by the acidity of my employment in the post of agent to which I have been appointed. I impatiently look for those favorable arrangements which may enable me to support the same with dignity. I beg leave to implore the continuation of your excellency respectable protections and have the honor of very profound excellency. And so it says right here, translation, right? We're going to go deep. 3 Chapé brothers, Francisco, became involved in American affairs in North Africa at least 1784. And so Chapé acted on behalf of the United States on October 11th, Sidi Muhammad, Emperor of Morocco, impatient and lack of progress negotiating a treaty with the United States. Okay? And so I'm showing you how where he said, let me show you. That's why people are like, hey, you supposed to free us in court. We Moors, right? He says, the crew shall be immediately set at liberty to go wherever they please. Furnish them and give them, everything back. And then he goes down to say that the Majesty ratifies the treaties concluded with the United States. You got to know how to ring language. So I'm just showing you how this is just part 1, because we're going to read the Emperor letter to George Washington to show you how these people have a history of lying. You will never see this letter in school. This is a letter to, go look this up, George Washington to Chapé, July 18th, 1789. This is about the Moors, United States. It's your boy Pella. I'm going to holler at you on part 2. But read this letter yourself, and I'm going to keep breaking it down for you. This is the real law, all right? And you can find this on, just Google it. You'll find it. I'll holler at y'all later, all right? You ready for part 2?